We love boxing. We here with Infinity. We about to go in on the original 8-weight classes.
I love boxing.
We love boxing.
I love boxing.
The art of fighting, y'all. The art of woe. Just the sacred arts. So Infinity, right now, boxing has 17, 18, whatever, 20, whatever weight classes. UFC has 8. And, you know, street fighting or whatever, there's no weight classes. And I'm sure in, like, Kung Fu, unorganized and shit, you know, no weight classes. I know Jet Li and them had, like, you know, some, you know, the Olympics, you know, Olympics, they got weight classes trying to make it fair or whatever.
But 17, that's kind of unnecessary.
Yeah.
To me. You can stick with the original 8.
Okay.
But 17, that's just too much. Because if you skinny, fight somebody skinny. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's not 5 different types of skinny.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You don't weigh but so much. I feel like if you 110, then you can fight somebody. You can actually have a good chance against somebody that's 125. There shouldn't be a class in between those two. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
That's just my opinion. That's coming from the Jeet Kune Do, the martial arts standpoint on it. When I did it, and Jeet Kune Do being considered one of the forms of mixed martial arts, earliest forms.
And by the way, to people might not know, that's Bruce Lee's.
Right. And Bruce Lee didn't want to call it. He didn't want to call it a style. You know, he was so against styles because he felt like all arts, fighting is fighting.
That's right.
So all arts are together. But that was just his way of thinking. His way, not style, but like a way of combative arts.
Yeah.
You might say.
Yeah.
But when I was training, there was no weight classes because Jeet Kune Do was basically scientific street fighting. And if you had an ATM and you're trying to get some money and somebody is behind you and they want to rob you at the ATM, they're not going to ask you what belt you, or you a black belt.
Yo.
There were no belts. And they're not going to wait, damn sure not going to wait for no weight class. Matter of fact, if you were smaller, they were going to ahead and go in. So, I mean, the weight classes and belts and the separations like that didn't matter in reality. But when you got money on the line and when you have rules and regulations and it's an actual sport, I understand the weight classes, but not no 17.
You think it's for profit and gain and fame?
It's all part of the bread and circus aspect of it, the politics of it.
Okay,
you know
politics.
What I mean?
And a lot of people use it to their advantage. Now I know there's some fighters out there, such as like a Keith Thurman, Bernard. I think they would fight anybody 20, 30 pounds above or below their weight. You know, when we still got those tried and true champions out there, but you saying just for politics and shit like that.
Right. Now, David versus Goliath, like in boxing, now you know that ain't right. You know what I mean?
But it's happened though. It's happened.
It's happened. But in today's times, you don't want to see it. You know what I mean? You don't want to have to sit there and watch the heavyweight champ versus a lightweight champ because you pretty much know what's going to happen.
Okay, true that. I mean, nowadays, yeah. I mean, but the first UFCs was like that, though.
Well, UFC is different than boxing because you're kicking, you have more weapons available.
Okay, true.
Elbows, knees, feet, it's available.
Chokes, chokes, tackles.
Oh, that's available. And that changes the dynamics of the game.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean? When you just have to use your arms, you're punching and stuff like that, you're bobbing and weaving, then I can see why weight classes come into play. But when you can gouge somebody in the damn eye, or kick somebody in the knee,
nuts.
or knee or whatever, then like weight class don't really matter.
Yeah, okay.
That's when that's when other things come into play.
Okay, I understand. I understand what you're saying. I understand exactly because like once you add more rules, it's like then you got to be a little bit more stringent on the weight classes.
Right.
But when it's 17, though, to me it's just opening up a door for too much manipulation and for too much,
too much running,
laziness. Yeah, too much running.
Too much running. Too many loopholes. Too many damn excuses. That's what I don't like.
Because 8 was perfect. Because a motherfucker knew if he couldn't make 147, he was going to have to really boss up and get his ass ready for 160. If you weren't ready for if he couldn't make one, let's say he's a couch potato. He's like, fuck, I'm just gonna fight my natural weight. He knew he's going to be a damn wild ox, wild bear to get ready for 175, light heavyweight. Well, now it's just, man.
Could you picture it with just 3 weight classes? Heavyweight, middleweight, lightweight.
Yeah, of course. Infinity. You gotta know that it probably sprang out of 3. I was just reading about the Jack Broughton rules. Jack Broughton, I think, back in London. I think it was either 1 or 2 weight classes, and out of his rules came the something rules, and then out of those rules came the Queensberry rules, is what modern day boxing goes off of today. But from Jack Broughton, and you know Jack Broughton shit came from some older shit, you know, from probably from the East or Africa or something. But his shit had only a 1 or 2 weight classes. So I could definitely see 3. Lightweight will probably be everything from 100 to 130 pounds. Middleweight will probably be everything from, you know, 130 to 160. And heavyweight will probably be 160 to unlimited. That's easy.
Right.
To me.
To me.
Yeah.
I will at least say
you knew the thing about our feet. Not to cut you off right quick, Infinity.
No.
You know that when there's lower weight classes, you know that if you're really about that, you're gonna train hard and you're gonna be 1,000% about that. See, it cuts out all them people that come in and have careers like Navarro or, you know, 20 matches in their whole career. It cuts out people coming there wanting to play and just wanting to spend a lotto ticket and earn a little money on the side. I mean, this ain't no side shit. I mean, your life is on the line when you in the ring.
Exactly.
In the square circle at any time.
Yep.
My bad. What would you say in Infinity?
No, I was just gonna say, if you're gonna, I'll put it like this: at least in your training, overall, if you're not doing boxing just for business, if you're doing it because you appreciate the art of fighting, then you will train up. I always train someone bigger, weighed more, taller, faster. Always train somebody better.
And good coaches will always tell you, like, let's say if you weigh 130. You should always spar and train with someone that's at 145.
Train up.
Exactly.
Train to be better.
Okay, that's right.
You know, it cuts down on fear. It cuts down on a lot of intimidating factors you would have.
It increases your tolerance. If you could take a hard punch from someone that's 170 and you ain't 130, you know you can handle the average punch from a 130.
From a 130, when you get in the ring, you know you can handle somebody in your weight class if you train with someone that's above it. And also, don't feel like you're superior to training to someone below your weight class. It's a lot you can learn from that too.
Because they're usually a little quicker.
Yeah, you can learn a lot from that.
And they usually, I know, since I come from the grappling arts and I know Jeet Kune Do involves grappling.
Right.
Whenever I train with someone in a lower weight class, what the devil?
In every damn video, almost.
But whenever I train with someone in a lower weight class, they were always more scrappy. I don't know how to explain it, but they always used more moves per sequence. They always was a little quicker and more scrappy.
They know they have to fight harder to get someone that's bigger than them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And when you're little, you're carrying lesser weight. You know you can move around a lot more.
And you want to train with somebody that's fighting harder than you. So you'll fight twice as hard too. There's rhythm and there's balance in these martial arts.
Yeah.
Rhythm is important. It's almost like fighting is almost like a dance. You know, there's a time that they're going to lead, there's a time you're going to lead. Some forward movement, some backward movement. There's momentum. You know what I mean? There's stopping, there's thinking, there's all type of things. And you want to be able to think without thinking. You want to be able to move without moving. You want to be able to feel without feeling. There's so much that comes into the fighting aspect of it, the naturalness of it. And that's one thing that weight classes, it kind of puts a little bit, it restricts it a little bit. Some of the natural is taken out of it when you have so many rules and regulations. Of course, when there's rules and regulations. That's why I always say, at least in your training, get the natural down.
Okay. Oh, wow. And so you say in the training, you should be as savage as you can.
Yes.
As most raw, when we used to grapple train, we already knew that you can't choke without the arm, but we would choke each other without the arm. Somebody would take a shot or come in for a throw. We would punch him in the gut. We knew this was illegal, but it's almost like you got to test it out to see if you could get away with it, if it'll work. And like you just said, you got to do it at least in your training so you can be accustomed to it, because there's going to be dirty fighters even in the professional arena, even in the the scripted arena.
Well, no matter what your profession is, you want to know as much as you can about it in all aspects of it. It's no different in the fighting arts. You want to know all the moves, illegal or not. You want to know what people are doing. That's how you win. To know as much as you can about what you're doing.
Man.
Just in my opinion. But yeah, 17 weight classes. I hate to keep saying that, but 17, that's just kind of ridiculous to me.
It's ridiculous to me too. And that's why we're not getting the fights that we want to see. And I'm not even mad at the boxers, because this is the era they're in. They're not in the golden era. They're not fighting back there in the 20s with Dempsey and Ketchel and They're not in the 40s and 50s with Sugar Ray where you could win a title, but it might just be a state title like Pennsylvania or California. And then you had the universally recognized title. Now, there's so many titles. I mean, when you have 17, 18 weight classes and 4 to 5, 6, 7, 8 belts for each weight class, even though 4 of the main ones, WBA, WBO, WBC, and IBF, those are the top big dogs. I guess they got the most money, whatever. It's all politics and shit, politics. But when you got that many belts and opportunity, it just leaves way for so many people to be able to cherry pick, pay people off, take the least amount of risk, and then want to compare themselves to greats that had to go through everybody to earn that title. When you could pick and choose somebody that got an IBA, an IBO, an NABF, an OBCWF, an ABCDE, and then become a champion, and you, let's say you undefeated, just hypothetically, and then you want to compare yourself to a Henry Armstrong, I say no, dog. I say no all day. I don't care if I don't even know the fighter. Like, I don't really know about Stanley Ketchel and Harry Greb, and I really don't know about them, but I see their record, and they have universal titles.
Right.
So to automatically, off the rip, off the dick, they gotta have way more, you know what I'm saying, credit than a nowadays fighter, even though it's not the nowadays fighter's fault.
I feel like when you're in a box, we can't see what you have as a fighter.
Yeah.
You're fighting people, you're like strictly in that little small weight class, not at 17.
Yeah.
You know, but how many like pounds does it deviate? You know what I mean?
It deviates. It don't deviate much.
That's what I'm saying. So we can't really see what you have.
Yeah, that's right. When you go from like 126 to 130 to 135 to 140, like, man, that's 4 or 5, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Shit, that's one dinner. You gain 5 pounds and a big ass steak, shrimp, fries.
take your ass to Outback, you'll gain 3 pounds.
3, 4 pounds.
And now you can't fight him. You can't fight the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you can't fight somebody. And people would do that.
Yup.
I know they would. It's too much running.
Yeah, it's too much.
It's too much running. But I do appreciate that. You know, in the old arts, putting it all out there, having no fear, saying I'll take them as big as they come, because I know that will make me bigger. And that's what every fighter at heart wants to be. They want to know that they could accept the challenge and conquer, no matter how big it is. That's at the heart of the fighter. And that's why I think you had more heart back in the days when there was 8 classes.
Yeah, of course. And even before that, when it was free for all, Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Ancient Africa, ancient China, ancient every continent. Just the best of the best fought the best. Whether you was 90 or 900 pounds. The best, rather you had just slingshot like David and Goliath in them, or rather you just had them hands. And if to me, it's an equal bout. If a dude is 300 pounds and we know he's strong, he like the Hulk, he can smash the wall, and a dude is 150 pounds, but we know he is quick as a damn gnat, he is quick as a hummingbird, he can move around like Flash Gordon. To me, that's an equal bout. One dude has super speed, one dude has super strength. Who gonna win? They both gonna whoop everybody down. Who gonna win? And that, to me, and that's totally fair.
That's right. I totally concur. Sometimes you have to chop that tree down. And it's been seen so many times.
And read about, and it's in legend. You know what I'm saying?
There's a good example of that, and one of the last Bruce Lee movies done, Game of Death.
Okay.
When he fought Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
But before that, he fought everybody. One nigga had the weapons, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Well, you know the whole Pagoda scheme. Like he started at the bottom, he was going to the top, and the Grand Master at the top was Kareem.
Okay.
You know,
but the movie wasn't finished though, was it?
It wasn't. Well, that version they put out wasn't done. Now you know there's another version, and I know we're going totally off topic, but there's 2 versions of the movie.
Okay.
And there's like maybe like a 30, 45 minute version that was mostly done. Bruce Lee's idea of his vision, basically like a demo, like you would for music.
Yeah.
This is what my vision of this movie would be.
Okay.
So there's more dialogue to it and everything, but basically they're fighting, and he's fighting to get to the top. And his homeboys, they got beat before they made it to the top. Bruce had the skills to make it all the way up to the top. The levels of it, basically the weight classes, or the skill levels.
Oh wow!
So the last fight was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, which is obviously taller longer,
bigger.
You know, the reach
Stronger.
was crazy, bigger, stronger.
Yeah.
And here's Bruce, and he's looking up at him like David versus Goliath.
Yeah.
But his heart, the spirit of the fighter, is the only thing that matters when it comes to a fight in real life.
Damn, I heard Mike Tyson say that in one of his documentaries.
The spirit of the fighter.
Yeah.
That equals out size, that equals out strength, that equals out speed, stamina. That spirit equals out all that. Because if you got the right spirit, you're going to stick for the speed, you're going to stick for the strength, you're going to stick to all of it. You know what I mean? Your spirit is like the glue to all of it. Your spirit is the reason for the fight. The spirit is the reason for the fight. And Bruce in the movie, he won that. But he showed he showed how you chop down that tree. How his spirit prevailed over all of that, you know. But yeah, that I think you can see more of that within the 8 weight classes than you can now in the 17.
Way more.
So, but that's my opinion on it. But yeah, but I'm not a boxer. I'm not out there in the ring. So
no, but
I'm not acting like
you are. I mean, tell the folks you are a champion in Jeet Kune Do.
the
Right?
Jeet Kune Do. That's right.
That's it.
But back then, back then Jeet Kune Do was way different than what you see in UFC now.
Oh yeah, you're right.
It's way different.
But UFC still sticks to the 8 weight classes though.
They do. But see, well, in Jeet Kune Do there was no weight classes.
You're right.
It was way different. Like I said, when I was in class, when I was training, I would look for the biggest, baddest, toughest, and train with them, in hopes that I would get some of that off. That would rub off on me.
Wow.
As a fighter, that's what I need.
Totally different mindset. Like today, totally different mindset.
I used to love to spar with. I know you know Jimmy.
Okay, Jimmy. I remember Jimmy.
Just because he didn't fight fair.
Oh, no.
That's why I love it.
Well, he was kicking at us. He was clawing at your eyes and shit.
We trained in the front yard. Do you remember that big old pampas grass, the big old bush we had with the blades of grass?
Oh, yeah.
In the corner, yeah. Jimmy would like snatch a handful of that and swing it at you. You know, handful of dirt, throw it at you, whatever he could.
Shit, my dad used to do with the dirt, great day.
Stuff like that, but it made you quicker, and you expect unexpected. But that's way different than being in the ring with rules. That's why I said I don't know. I don't know all the rules of boxing and things like that. But I know I can see the hardened fighters. I know I can see the spirit. I know I can see skill, and I know when I can tell when somebody's there for the money.
Yeah.
You know.
So I'll say nowadays, before we ended it out, who would you say is like the fighters that you've seen or that you know about is tried and true?
Well, see, I know the big talk now, which everybody wants to talk about, is the Pacquiao and Mayflower.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, you didn't.
I'm gonna leave it at that because with me saying that, I know people know how I feel.
Yeah.
I just rock with Pacquiao.
Okay.
I feel like Mayweather don't want to see him. I'm just gonna say that. Like I said, I'm not no boxing historian, professor, none of that. But this fight should have been happened.
Man, I do agree with that.
It's overdue, and I'm getting tired of waiting.
Ain't we all? Well, besides them, do you see any other fighters that's in any genre, any class, Olympic, amateur, that you would say is tried and true?
Well, see, tell me what happened with Silva in the last fight. I didn't hear anything about it.
Oh, Silva, he had to fight with Diaz. He started off slow, then he started to show his skill, his masterful skill against Diaz. Diaz laid down on him a few times. He didn't go in for the kill, but he technically outboxed him, outworked him. To me, Silva's A-level. Even I hurt Silva. Granted, his leg is hurt and he's old. And Diaz is B-level, even though Diaz can scrap as well. He didn't go in for the kill like he usually does, but Silva just had better skill. He was able to dodge, he was able to hit, get 3 or 4 hits. The Diaz is 1, and he's just a higher level. So Silva won convincingly, in my opinion, unanimous decision. That's what it was. But until he gets fully healed or gets some type of tonic to make him a little youthful, I don't think he's able to go up against Chris Weidman again, or whoever the champ is at 185. I think it's just retire, but the man said that's what he loves. But I mean, outside of just UFC and boxing, I mean, any others, judo, grappling, wrestling, you see anybody that you could think of off the top of the dome?
Not off the top of the dome. But I do have a question.
Okay.
Because I hadn't really watched, so many other videos from the boxing community on YouTube here. But do y'all go into the female boxers? Do y'all talk about the women boxing?
I've only seen a few people do that, and I know there's a chick out there called Female Boxing Fan, and I've rarely heard anything about Layla Ali, and I can't remember if it was Frazier or Foreman's daughter. Christy Martin, I remember her. I used to like her. And then, but the real big talk is Ronda Rousey. She's the undefeated champion UFC. She's the biggest right now of known female boxers. You know, you got female kickboxers, female Muay Thai artists, female kung fu artists. But the biggest talk, I guess, commercially is Ronda Rousey. She's undefeated. She whoops down everybody. It rarely goes the distance. I mean, she's just the damn truth for female mixed martial artists commercially. I don't know if you ever heard of Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, I've heard of her.
Yeah, but she's the truth right now, man. Her armbar submission skills. She got raw judo skills. She's a beast. She just bosses up on them other bitches and she get them out of there. Yeah.
Well, man, I appreciate you having me on and letting me just give my piece as far as the martial arts side aspect of it.
Yeah.
The Jeet Kune Do side of it, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate all you're doing. I love the videos, by the way, and I love boxing. So
go ahead and say it one more time for me, Infinity.
I love boxing.